Don't forget to like and subscribe to follow good stories. Finally, the day of departure arrived. Sophia's parents deeply regretted that the little girl couldn't come to bid Chloe farewell, as she didn't want to say goodbye to her dear friend. They hoped Chloe would understand. Truthfully, they themselves did not want to part with her either. Chloe's eyes carried a melancholy glint as she thought of Sophia. She fondly recalled how the little girl's bright, adorable smile would light up every time she called out to her. Damian gently wrapped his arm around Chloe's shoulders to comfort her, reminding her that it was time to leave. Chloe turned to Sophia's parents, bowed, and said her goodbyes. "All right, let's get going." The carriage began its journey through the dense forest. Damian spoke in a steady tone. "I should probably write to your father before we arrive in Swain. I'm sure he'll be quite surprised by this turn of events, so it's best to inform him in advance." Oh, and, noticing Chloe was lost in thought, Damian called out to her. "Chloe?" Startled, she turned to him. I'm sorry. Did you say something to me?" Damian looked at her intently for a moment before asking, "Are you still thinking about that girl?" He moved to sit beside her as she softly replied, "Yes. We did spend quite a lot of time together, and she often followed me around." Damian mused aloud. "Well, she's rather cute." Chloe's face lit up. "Isn't she? And she's so clever. She can even memorize an entire book." Seeing her joyful expression as she spoke of Sophia, Damian felt it was a small way to comfort his wife. Yet, his thoughts wandered to the time when she had suffered a miscarriage. He recalled her heartfelt words, her dreams for their child, how she wished for the baby to have his eyes or hers. With a heavy heart, he said, "You must have cared for her as though she were your own." Chloe hesitated. "Well, I suppose." With a teasing grin, Damian suggested, "Should we just kidnap Sophie and take her to Swannon with us?" "Damian," Chloe exclaimed in protest. "Don't joke about something like that. If Miss Stella heard you, you wouldn't have a leg to stand on." Damian placed his hand over hers, his voice softening. "Chloe, if you're going to make frivolous jests, I'd rather not hear them. I'm just wondering, do you have any idea where Sophie might be hiding? Before we leave, let's try to find her and say a proper goodbye." Chloe's eyes widened in surprise. "Really?" Damian nodded. "Until I can give you a daughter of our own, I'm just a helpless fool. This is the least I can do." The two of them returned to Sophia's house to search for the little girl. Miss Stella mentioned that Sophia often hid in the wagons that were sent there. Damian chuckled at the thought, but after searching the first floor, they couldn't find her anywhere. Chloe called out, "Sophie?" Damian's eyes caught sight of something glinting. "Chloe? Why didn't you put this in your bag?" Chloe quickly cleared her throat. Well, it's very important to me, so I wanted to keep it close." "Suspicious," Damian remarked. "Is that so? If this hadn't fallen out of your purse back then, I might have believed that cute little lie you made about not loving me. So, thank goodness." He mischievously slipped his hand into Chloe's blouse, making her jump in alarm. "Damian, Sophie might be around." With a sly smile, Damian replied, "She doesn't seem to be here." Flustered, Chloe bolted upstairs. "I'll check the second floor. You keep searching downstairs." Damian watched her with an affectionate gaze as she disappeared up the staircase. On the second floor, Chloe wandered from room to room, calling out, "Are you here?" She suddenly noticed one of Sophie's shoes lying on the floor. Ahead of her, a door was slightly ajar. Picking up the shoe, she murmured, "Where could our little Sophie have gone? You're so good at hiding. It's hard to find you. Let's see. Could our sweet Sophie be?" Cheerfully, she pushed the door open, only to freeze in horror. Before her stood a mysterious man holding a dagger to Sophie, his hand clamped tightly over the girl's mouth. Tears glistened in Sophie's wide, terrified eyes. The man spoke in a low, menacing voice. "If you want to save the girl, answer me as quietly as possible. Is this here? Answer me. Is this here?" Chloe gripped the fabric of her dress, her mind racing. The stranger's knowledge of Damian's true identity made it clear he was no mere thief. What should she do? At that moment, Damian's voice echoed from downstairs. "Chloe, are you still upstairs?" The man pressed the dagger closer to Sophie's throat, whispering harshly, "Tell him nothing's wrong. Do it now." Chloe saw little Sophie in the hands of the stranger, looking utterly pitiable. She hesitated, uncertain of what to do, then spoke up, "Yes, I'm still here. Adele is up here too. It seems she's just upset that I had to leave so suddenly." Downstairs, Damian called back. Oh really? Well, I'm glad you found her at least. In Chloe's heart, she silently pleaded, please, Damian. At that very moment, the door burst open, and a gunshot rang out. Blood splattered everywhere as the mysterious man collapsed onto the floor. Damian stepped in, holding a smoking shotgun. Thank goodness Mr. Ricardo's shotgun is always loaded, he remarked. Blood pooled across the wooden floor, and Sophie rushed to Chloe's side. Miss Claire, she whimpered. Chloe held the little girl close, trying to soothe her. There, Sophie, everything's okay now. Damian, ever practical, reminded her. Chloe, it's not safe to stay here. Are you able to stand? Chloe glanced at him, her mind racing. That man, he knew who you were. He's no ordinary thief. Damian, do you have any idea what this was all about? It seems Johannes is quite eager to see me, Damian replied curtly. Then, taking charge of the situation, he instructed, Chloe, take Sophie back home. There was only one bullet. Chloe's face filled with worry. What about you? Damian reassured her. If there are others nearby, they're likely headed this way after hearing the gunshot. I'll stay and deal with them. Make sure you and Sophie get back safely, my love. He placed a gentle kiss on her forehead. Will you be able to ride the horse? Chloe hesitated. Yes, but before she could protest further, Sophie piped up. I know a shortcut back home. Damian knelt down and patted the little girl's head affectionately. Really? You're a very brave and bright girl, Sophie. I trust you. Chloe watched the exchange, her face still clouded with concern. Damian urged them again. Now then, we can't waste any more time. Chloe quickly, a chilling, maniacal laugh echoed from downstairs. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. Damian, are you in here? Johannes's men had arrived. Damian's face tightened. They're here. Swiftly, he pulled Chloe and Sophie toward a wardrobe. Hide in here until I say it's safe to come out. Once inside, Chloe's fear began to bubble over. But, Damian, what are you planning to do? You can't face all of them alone. You can't even use the gun anymore. Damian knelt to Sophie's level and spoke gently. Sophie, right now we're playing hide and seek. Do you understand? Tears welled up in Sophie's eyes, but she nodded. Damian then turned to Chloe, his voice calm but firm. No matter what happens, don't make a sound or come out. Chloe's voice quivered. Are you saying I have to stay trapped in here while I watch you get hurt? How can you be so? Cutting her off, Damian spoke with a steady resolve. Listen carefully, Chloe. Knowing Johannes, he won't take the easy route and just finish me off here. So think about what comes after this. He softened his tone, looking at her with unwavering affection. My wife is a brave woman. That, I know for a fact. Remember, courage isn't about acting on impulse. It's about holding back and maintaining reason. If you love me, be brave for me, my love. With that, he closed the wardrobe doors. Chloe's voice trembled, calling out to him, Damian, Damian, but her words faded behind the wooden panels. Johannes's voice rang out from the staircase. Well, look who we have here. If it isn't my oh so wonderful cousin, Damian replied with mockery in his tone. You've finally shown up, Johannes. I've missed you. And so, Damian, Chloe, and Sophie found themselves caught in the web of Johannes's trap. Will Damian escape with his life and protect Chloe and Sophie? Don't forget to like and subscribe to follow the story Betrayal of Dignity on Reven Manhwa's channel.